soda. Or choose wisely. Which snack is better in your opinion? Golden Oreo Cakesters. Fight! Blue wins. Which snack is better in your opinion? Jagariko or macarons? Choose wisely.
But I'm still going to be working and providing for our family, so he would help out too. So it's not just, oh, I'm going to stay home all the time, 24/7, be a full-time stay-at-home mom while he works and does all this hard work and come home and say, why is my dinner cold? Why is it not ready? But we were more of just I don't know how to explain it all in one, because I'm really bad at explaining stuff, but we were just very equal. It was equal. We had
No, you're honestly lucky for that, personally. You're really lucky. You want to know what I do? I literally fold and do all this guy's laundry. I do his dishes. I clean, I cook, I sweep, I mop, and all I get freaking moaned and groaned at, nagged at about how I'm not doing enough. When I literally,
baby girl, look.
No, actually, guys, we have to. Okay, first, guys, we have to. I would have to explain the entire situation, and I really
beat him up. Please beat him up, or I will.
Bro, no. See, I get it. Like he pays most of the rent, but it's the fact of the matter is that I'm not trying to get here. But the thing is, like, if I do anything else, like, I'll talk about, like, oh, yeah, no, I got something at the store, you know what I mean? But depending on how much it was, he'll literally just call me stupid and that I'm wasting my money.
I think you need to break up with him. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to try and speak on your relationship, but he's using his financial, I would say he has more financial freedom because he's clearly he's giving you, since he pays majority of the rent, I would assume he makes more money. He is using using his finances and holding them over your head. That is very toxic. And I would say
replace his mother.
You need to leave him as soon as possible. I know it's going to be hard, but you need to leave him.
I feel like you should know your worth and your value.
Guys, we have to address one thing. Before this, my relationship was abusive and much worse than this. So we have to understand that.
You're not with him right now, are you?
Wait, but he got me out of the situation. But another thing is, we had an argument last week about how he was gonna make me call someone to pick me up from here because I live 2 hours away. He picked me up from my house where I had a job and all that and brought me to his house 2 hours away. And I go to my house every weekend to go work. But recently, it's not like that. And literally, it's just weird.
Look, it's definitely a good thing. I mean, that he helped you out of a relationship that was, I guess, worse than this one. But that doesn't make it okay. I mean, I understand that maybe, the relationship that you're currently in now, is not nearly as bad, I guess, as the last one, but that doesn't mean that that's still okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I understand that, like, maybe he's not as bad as the last guy, but he's still bad.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think you guys understand. I literally did not want to get into a relationship. I actually deep-rooted hatred in men.
Do not settle for the bare minimum or lower than the bare minimum. You have to set your bar higher and meet those needs. These men that you're getting with sound like horrible people. Your current boyfriend sounds like he's sorry, I'm eating garlic bread. Your current boyfriend sounds like he just wants you to replace his mom. He sounds
At the end of the day, I mean, obviously you're an adult because this is an 18+ server. You're an adult. You can make whatever choices you want to make, but we are giving you advice and the warnings. You can take that however you want. We're just looking out for you.
I've had this said to me like 4 different times, guys. I've gone, I don't think you can understand the lore right now. I've gone through 5, 6 different servers, and they all tell me the same thing. And
I think that's a sign.
There's just a couple things that just make me think that he's cheating on me. Like, there's like a couple things.
You need to leave him immediately.
Wait, can I say something? I don't think it's about him cheating. I don't think that's something you should be worried about. Honestly, I think it's just more about like your safety and like people were saying like how you choose to hold yourself. I don't think it has anything to do with him being disloyal at all. Okay, so Joe, when you like have you brought like I'm assuming that you've brought these issues up to him before. Like, is he more like is he willing to communicate, or is it always like an arguing, screaming match?
Most of the time it ends in like a screaming match, but like most of the time he's just asking like how I feel. But the thing is, you also have to understand, my childhood was like one of those things where it was just like, it was not normal. I was like SA'd as a kid and all that, and in my last relationship, I was literally SA'd, manipulated into staying with him for years. For like, because he was, and then he's threatened to shoot up my school and all that. And like actually set a date and all that. So that's why like I'm not really up for relationship. They aren't really my thing. I'm not really open to having them. I don't really like talking about my feelings, and this guy just wants, I don't know, he asks so much questions about my past. He won't even answer a single one of my questions.
You gotta get out.
This guy doesn't have the audacity to tell me how many who are the girls he has.
Hold on. So wait, really quick, how old are you?
I'm 18.
Like freshly, like did you just graduate high school?
Like,
Yeah, you need to get out of there immediately. You need to get out of there. You need to find a safe haven and get out of there immediately.
I also had an ad like all my my cousin, my friends. I was
this happened to my best friend. This happened to my best friend. Please.
And not only that, you want to know something crazy? This guy was a senior when I was a sophomore.
Wait, hold on, just 1 second. Just need to. The struggle one, you are not different. Stop trying to be like, I'm not like other girls. Like, I think you guys are so crazy. The advice that you're giving this girl right now. If you lack empathy, just say that. The fact that they all agreed with her and the thought of him cheating with no basis is crazy. And I'm a girl. Do I have?
And I don't even say we really like agreed with the fact that she has an idea that she cheated on. We didn't even really touch on that.
She has an intuition. We said no.
No. Yeah, what I was saying, I'm not disregarding her like intuition, but I'm saying that based on what she's telling us, it's not about him being disloyal. So I'm not going to talk about him being disloyal.
We rarely even touched on the cheating.
I think we pushed it away, actually.
We were more saying like, if anything, that's the least of the problems that we have had so far.
Like like you have been here the entire conversation, you heard the rest of the conversation, and if you're only focusing on the fact that cheating was brought up, then like I feel like you lack empathy because did you not hear the rest of the reasons of how he's treating her, and you're still being like, oh my god, y'all are telling her to break up over Roblox. You don't even know her, but we trust and believe what she's saying.
It's just mainly the only things that are really like it's really just digging into me because there were just some things that have been happening the past 2 days that are just it's different and I just think it's a little weird. It's not matching his pattern.
You guys, you know him obviously because you live with him. So if you have that intuition on top of the way he's already treating you, I hope that is the catalyst for you to leave. I understand. Do you have like a safe place that you can go? I know you said during the weekends, I think you said that you go home for work.
But the thing is, it's like the thing he wants to. The thing is, he was the one who started picking me up from where I originally lived. And I originally lived 2 hours away. It's his hometown. He originally went to high school with me. He was like a senior when I was a sophomore. Mind you, this guy was literally telling me he rode my bus and all that. And this guy literally just sat here. He was like telling me about how this guy he was obsessed with me whenever he was in high school. And I was like, whoa, I didn't even know who you were, really. I knew you from basketball games. That's really it.
I would say just like final statement that I think we can all agree on. At the end of the day, you are an adult. You are allowed to, be with whoever. I mean, you have your own autonomy. You're able to make those choices. We are just giving you, of course, the advice and the warning signs and our personal experiences. But I think
I'm just the main point is
another topic.
The main point is why I'm asking about it is because when I already said I don't have like a good stance of how relationships are supposed to be even with your father, mother, and all that because I don't really. It was a little different for me when I was younger, but either way, it makes it hard to really determine like what is weird in a relationship compared to what is normal because of how
I understand that.
In the past. And it's mainly because I just want to figure it out, mainly because, my mom, she's moving from my hometown away because after my little brother graduates, she's not going to be there anymore. So I want to figure it out before, I'm stuck in, it.
Yeah, I understand that. It's that's for a lot of people, I think, struggle with that. I know I did. That, when they grow up in, a tough or really bad living situation, or if they have trauma from really young, or if they never saw their parents or whoever in a healthy relationship, it can be hard to understand what is actually a healthy relationship and what not.
Understand what's happening.
Yeah, I understand that. It's a really big, it's a huge learning curve. So I understand where you're coming from.
It's just some people don't understand that. And
I understand where you're coming from, but you should definitely get out of that situation soon.
Oh yeah. But anyways, that's all I really had to ask. I just wanted to smell people's inside because most of the time, whenever I try it, like I'll make a little server and be like, "Hey guys, you should help me figure this out." Only men join, and they're just like coddling, like, "Oh yeah, you should leave them," and like, "Oh yeah, follow me on Instagram."
And
Or what?
yeah, you should.
Sorry.
Definitely. No, you're fine. You're fine. Does anybody else have any like other topics they want to discuss? Or anything, or any advice that they need, any therapy?
Okay, I was going for like half whatever. What happened?
Yeah.
The crew low Roblox girl, what do you mean by, I think it's more about you can't give 100% of yourself every day, so when you're giving 30 to the other one, need to give that 70% other days the opposite. Like, what do you mean? So it's like alternating, how the reciprocation of what you give out or energy?
I think it's some people just like if your partner is having like a bad day and they just can't give like that 50%, sometimes all they can give is like 30, and sometimes you have to just like give that 70%, if that makes sense. Kind of just like some people are having like really bad days, or they go through like depressive episodes, or they're grieving, or just they're like, I mean, that happens with every relationship. Sometimes people just go through stuff in their lives, and they can't always like be that like 100% or like 50%, like give everything. They can only like, the amount that they can give is 30%, and that's like as much as they're possible to give in that moment. If that makes sense.
Okay, no, yeah, that totally makes sense. I definitely think it's, I don't know if you guys saw, but I think it's up to the individual on like how much you want to give in or reciprocate in the relationship.
Yep.
I personally, these are my personal opinions. I would never force this upon anybody, but I'm older. I have a fiance. I'm very blessed that he pays for everything, and I don't have to pay for anything. It's not even that he gives me the choice to like work. I choose to work because, again, I'm my own individual, and for him it's fulfilling, I guess, as a masculine figure or a man to pay for everything, and I let that happen because honestly, sister, if he wants to pay everything, go ahead. But for me, I think it's good to have some sort of independency, and if that means working or having a different type of hobby away from your partner or any of that, that's good, because then you can separate yourself from your partner and still have a sort of individualism apart from your relationship. Like, your relationship is important, but you come first. So
I think they were more.
Sorry, can I say something? I feel like I think it's more harder to let somebody pay for everything, because I think I've been more in relationships where it ends and they're like, I pay for everything. Like, they use it against you that they pay for everything. I think I'm more of the person to look ahead in life. I can look at the positive and the negative. The negative side is they use it against you. The positive side is they don't. And it does depend on the individual you are with.
I think it was more. I think the Krulo. I'm not sure how to say your username, but I think they were more coming from like an emotional standpoint. At least that's what I know. Usually, when like people are like, "Oh, 50-50," sometimes I can't give like 50%. Like, I can't give as much as possible all the time. I think they were more coming from like a emotional standpoint rather than a financial one. Because usually, for the most part, your finances, unless like you're in a very like tumultuous like financial situation, for the most part, people's finances are relatively the same if they like work a steady job. But I think it was more, where they were coming from was more like an emotional support standpoint. Like your partner, you and your partner, like in an ideal situation, should be able to give each other like all like their emotional support. But some people go through depressive episodes, or maybe they're grieving, or maybe just some sort of like a negative thing that is happening in their partner's lives, and like your partner may only be able to give 30%, and that's as much as possible that they could give, and sometimes you have to make up for that 30% and give 70. Does that make sense? I think that's just more where they were coming from.
Yeah, it was not from a financial standpoint, but
I
Yeah,
will
no,
ask,
I was just commenting on the princesses.
how do you pronounce your username? Is it Kruloa? I'm just so I can say it correctly, so I don't look silly. Kruloa. Okay. Cool. Okay. I'm trying to think of topics we could.
Okay, how do you guys feel about? Did you guys hear what Steve Harvey had to say about those 4 accounts in a relationship?
No, what did he said about what?
I feel like he actually did make a really valid point. It was like you should always have 4 bank accounts in a relationship.
Oh, okay, 4 bank accounts.
You've heard that?
No, I just didn't. I didn't know what he said about what it was. Is that from his? What is that book? It's like Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. That book that he wrote.
I have no idea. I just heard him say it. Like I was scrolling on my For You page, and like he just popped up out of nowhere saying that it was a relationship should have 4 accounts, 1 for the woman, 1 for the man. Like they have what they want to spend. Then there's another account where savings, and then another account for like the bills. You guys,
I think that's really smart. That's really
correct.
smart. Yeah.
It's a joint account for bills, joint savings account, and then you and your partner have your own individual accounts where you can spend your own money.
Honestly,
without
I
having
think that's
to
like
account for
how
the other person.
that should be how like every relationship, like especially when you're married and you're.
I think it's more the mentality of the relationship.
Yeah, I think that's a really healthy way to take care of your finances, especially like when you're a married couple and you've like moved in and you have the big bills that you have to pay for. I think that's really smart, and because it always like I always get a little worried when I hear about like women like, oh yeah, I got married and we just combined our bank accounts together and now we just have one joint bank account. I'm like, because like I feel like you could be as like exact to a T and like really track each of your guys' like payments and like what you guys decide to spend on, but I feel like that will almost always lead to like some sort of like discourse like, oh, it's both of our money, you're spending a lot like on this, you know what I mean? Like I feel like that's definitely a smart idea that like you guys each have your own personal accounts, like for like you want to buy clothes or you want to buy like golf clubs or something, you know what I mean? And then you guys have something for savings, something for the kids, and then like the actual like bills and stuff. That's really smart. I don't want to give Steve Harvey a lot of credit because he said some questionable stuff, but I will give him credit for that. That is very smart.
Yeah, I don't really watch Steve Harvey like that. I'm like parts like of what he's like said and done. That split that people do a lot, and then that saying he said.
Also, I'm pretty sure, maybe I misunderstood, but my mom has told me that,
I want to say something really quick.
Yeah?
I gotta go. It was really nice hearing you guys.
It was nice talking to you.
Oh, yes, love the topic. Actually, really smart idea.
Yeah, and I wish you all the best. So,
thank you.
I hope
You too,
again.
girl. Bye.
Have a nice day.
Oh, Lord. I got the full responsibility now. It'll be okay. Yeah, from what I know, like, I believe this is what my mom told me when I was, like, doing my taxes, because, when you do your taxes, they ask, like, oh, are you filing, like, by yourself or, like, joint? She said that filing by yourself, like, even when you get married, to file separately, I think because you get taxed less, if I remember correctly. I believe that's what she said, just because usually when you file jointly, like with your significant other, they tend to tax you more because the government assumes that you guys are combining your financials, which most married people do. But yeah. Just advice if for anyone that's getting married in the future. But yeah.
I know. Okay, I need some advice. So, well, not really advice. I want to know, it's like an opinion. Oh, give me 1 second, actually. I have to go AFK for like 2 minutes.
Okay, you're good. Does anyone have anything that they wanted to say?
Yeah, I actually did have a question. So I wanted to ask you guys if y'all think that like any like couple that gets married is like already within the assumption that like they're gonna have kids within like a few years. Like, do y'all think like that's true? Because like I feel like it is, mostly because a lot of people that get married know that they're gonna either have some type of joint account or do some type of prenup to figure out like their finances as far as how they're gonna take care of their kids. And I just wanted to hear y'all thoughts about it because I was talking to my boyfriend about it.
Could you repeat the question? Sorry, it cut out for me.
Like, okay, so do you think that, like, okay, no, so do you think that marriage, like, anybody that gets married is already, like, within the assumption that they want to have kids, like, that being married is tied into wanting to have kids?
Honestly, I don't think so. I think maybe in the past, for sure, just because of the whole, like, oh, you know, save yourself for marriage and, like, you know, reproduction. I hope I don't get VC banned for saying that. Was kind of the point of like humanity. Even as like that wasn't even like a mentality that far back. It's still a mentality now, but I definitely think now, as more women especially are realizing that they don't really want to have kids. Most people aren't they aren't financially able to afford children. I think now it's become more of like marriage has become, they just want to be together and they want, documentation that says that they will be sealed.
But that's what I'm saying though, like a lot of men specifically choose to get married to women like with the assumption that they're going to have kids because technically like I've talked to a lot of different men.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of different men, and a lot of men do not want to go through that type of process if they're not going to have kids with their wife. Like, because that documentation doesn't really matter at that point. You know what I mean? Like, it does seal part of the relationship, but at the same time, it doesn't. Like, it really doesn't.
I think people should only get married if they love each other. Like, because you could have kids with somebody and not get married to them. Like that's been a big discussion I know online is like, oh, having kids before marriage and whatever. Like, oh, you can have kids with somebody, but you can't get married to them. That whole thing. I definitely see what you're saying. I have seen that like with men, they'll only ever really get married if they want to have kids. But then it's like, are you even really getting married for love then? Because in my opinion, you should get married for love. If that makes sense, because once you're married to somebody, then it's a lot harder to like actually like officially like separate and like divorce versus, just like dating somebody, you break up, it's done just like that. But yeah, I definitely think a lot of men do that. And I kind of find it, is it disingenuine, if that's whatever that word is. I definitely think it's that. And I also think what I hate is when people will be in a relationship and the guy's like, oh, I really want to have kids, and the woman's like, or no, it'll be like, oh, like they're discussing if they want to have kids, and the woman's like, oh yeah, like I don't ever want to have kids, and the guy's like, oh yeah, me neither, and then they get married, and then a couple years later, it's like, oh, like the guy's like, oh, we should have kids, and the woman is like, but I told you I didn't want them. Like I hate when that happens for men.
But so with what you're saying, but that has to do with like, to me, with the marriage thing, that's how like the financial stuff gets like separated, especially if they do some type of prenup, because that's how they choose to like handle the finances if they get divorced. So that's what I mean. Like a lot of men choose to go through marriage to have that financial support when they have kids. So that way, if anything happens, the finances are set in stone. And like, especially if somebody cheats, there's been so many, like, especially with like Cardi B and like Future and stuff like that. Like there's so like many different things that happen when you're signing a prenup, and those agreements that you have to follow, because if you do something unjust in your relationship, like cheating, and there's